Okay, go ahead.
My name is Alejandro, and I'm ready for green jobs now.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm working for Eco Workforce.
My name is Brandon. I'm part of the Eco Workforce.
My name is Jose, and I'm part of the Eco Workforce. Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm ready for green jobs now.
Got it? Okay. My name is Damian McInerney. I am a permaculture designer and landscaper, and I'm also a certified arborist. And I wanted to come out to this project today specifically because it was a Greywater project, and also to support the North Bay Eco Workers project, which I'm just starting to learn about. I think Greywater is really important in the future because all over the world we're going to experience more and more shortage of water, and this is really a smart way to reuse water that we already have in the system for landscaping purposes, and especially if we're going to be growing food with that Greywater. It just really makes it an excellent use. And it's a funny thing about Greywater that it's been illegal in California up until recently, when we've had a water shortage, and finally the legislature and the governor realized that Greywater is a really good solution to the water shortage problems that we have in California.
And can you tell us can you describe the system that was installed today a little bit?
Yes, so it's a laundry pump system, so we have Greywater coming out of the washing machine and going through some piping, and it'll go underneath the house and come out an air vent. And then once it comes out of the house, it's going to tee off to some separate infiltrators, and for the infiltrators we used a 1-gallon landscaping pot turned upside down with the top partially cut off, and a valve going from the Greywater pipe into the infiltrator so that we can adjust how much water comes out into each pot.
Could you show us that? An example of that?
Yep. Right here we have our line coming in from the house. It goes underground, so it's buried now. We've already buried it. In this particular one, this is the one infiltrator that does not have an adjustment valve on it. It's really important to have one, so if accidentally all of the other ones get turned off, there's a spot for the water to come out so that the laundry pump doesn't burn out. So here we have 1-inch polyethylene tube going into the infiltrator. The water will come into here, and then it'll come out the bottom of this particular pot, and it'll fill up. This whole basin here is mulched, so there's a lot of air spaces which will fill up with the Greywater, and then over a period of time the Greywater will soak into the ground and will water all of the plants around it.
Can you tell us from a building community perspective, what has this day been like as far for you, this experience of bringing community residents together, children, young people? What's an added benefit to a day like this in addition to the great Greywater system?
Sure. Personally, I think community is the single most important element of sustainability, and the single most important element in terms of going forward and dealing with, I think, crises which are only going to continue to grow in the next years and decades. So today was an amazing example. This property is really a microcosm of the whole community event that's happening with the 350 Garden Challenge. There are probably thousands of people over this weekend doing different gardening projects, and so here we have this little microcosm. We have your organization, the North Bay Eco Workforce. The North Bay Eco Workforce, and so your community coming in here, myself who is a volunteer and a professional in this area coming in and working with you and collaborating. We have a homeowner who had not met myself or your group previous to this project, and her daughter who's getting to experience this whole thing. And in a sense for her, it's really special today, but it's also the sense of sort of normalizing Greywater. You know, she's going to grow up and she's going to talk to other kids in her classes and say, "Your family doesn't have Greywater? Well, why not?"
Right.
And so it's just extraordinary how much everybody's learning from each other. Like, I'm learning so much from these youth about their lives and where they come from and what their background is. They're learning things from me, and Chris and I are learning things from each other. And we're building this fabric, this network of relationships, which is really what sustainability is about. It's about building and growing connections, and that's what everybody and all the species in the world need to survive, is they need those relationships and connections.
Thank you. Hey, Brandon, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing at your job?
I've been working with ABS. It's Applied Building Science. I actually got hooked up through that at the Earth Day event that we had at Roseland. I got a chance to talk to John Sutter after his presentation, and we made a little bit of a connection, and he gave me an opportunity, and I ran with it. And I've been working with ABS, doing home repairs and home insulation, like working up in attics and putting insulation in walls and putting up drywall and things like that. It's been really rewarding so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
And can you tell us the role that you feel Eco Workforce played in your what did you feel before being with Eco Workforce as far as your hopes for a job?
Before I got involved with Eco Workforce, my hopes for a job was pretty much like getting a job at McDonald's or somewhere. I felt like with my criminal record and with my felony conviction that there was no way that I was going to be able to get like a actual job that could lead into a career or like actually be fulfilling in any kind of way. I felt like I was just going to have to get a 9-to-5 grind and just be working at some dead-end job. And after I got a chance to work with Eco Workforce, it actually opened doors to a lot of other opportunities and a lot of other I want to say a lot of other fields that I could work in other than like customer service, like fields that are actually like doing work to better not only the community but just better like the environment. And that's actually part of what I'm doing right now with ABS. And if it hadn't been for Eco Workforce, I wouldn't have been at the Earth Day event, and I wouldn't have had a chance to talk with John Sutter. So Eco Workforce played a big role in me actually being employed right now.
And right now, today, you're doing volunteer work. Why are you doing volunteer work today?
I'm doing volunteer work because this is actually what I started doing with Eco Workforce. Just because I got a job, I didn't feel like it would be right for me to like stop doing what I started doing with Eco Workforce, because I actually believe in what we're doing and I want to see it through all the way.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.